Hello everybody and welcome back to Soul Studios. I am your host Soul, and today we're talking about my old Jayfeather Obsession along with a few other Warriors things that were just going on at the time that I first got into Warriors. At this point in time, in present day, could not in my wildest dreams tell you why I used to be so obsessed with Jayfeather. I think it was just kind of a trend at the time. Everybody just liked Jayfeather. I hadn't even read the books at the time that I was obsessed with Jayfeather, so I don't really know why I was obsessed with Jayfeather. I didn't even know Jayfeather as a character. I knew him from the animations I had seen on YouTube. That's about it. I had zero clue who Jayfeather was as a whole. I think I'd read part of him because I know the first Warriors book I ever read was the second book in the Omen of the Stars arc, and that was it. That was as much Jayfeather as I got, and I don't even know if he was in that book a lot. I don't remember it at all. I don't really remember anything from the Omen of the Stars series. I paid so much attention to that. I do remember him in Power of Three. I own those books. I just have them in storage right now. But when I actually read the books and I reread them, I could not for the life of me remember why I liked Jayfeather. Not that he's a bad character. I think he's a fine character. He's great. He's grumpy. He's grouchy. He's meant to be a very just bit of a jerk, rather irritating character, and that's great. But it wasn't any sort of character that I could see myself obsessing over. So I don't know what younger me was thinking. I think younger me had a very messed up version of Jayfeather in her head that was not what canon Jayfeather is. And I actually think a lot of people at the time had that same mindset. Not to say that anyone's Jayfeather obsession wasn't cool or anything. I don't care. It was Jayfeather. It was a time period. This was 2016, 2017. We were all nuts. But it just in my brain, I can't begin to fathom why. He's not my favorite of the three from the Power of Three. My favorite from the three used to be Hollyleaf, but I guess it's back to Jayfeather just because I don't like Lion Blaze. And Hollyleaf was fine. She was just very caught up in whatever she was doing, especially with the Warriors Code and everything. Very, very caught up in all that. And it kind of made it hard to read her character without being you are really caught up on the rules, aren't you, girly? So I guess we're back to liking Jayfeather. That's fine. I'd say all of the three are just they're not my favorite characters, all of them by any means, but they're fine. It's great. Warriors as a whole, when I first got in the fandom, seemed like a much different place than it is now. Not to say that a lot of similar things were happening, but it was just a different landscape because different books were coming out. We were discussing different theories and everything. I think when I first joined the fandom it was not right after the Omen of the Stars arc ended. I think it was right before, oh god, what is that book's name? The one where, oh no, I've forgotten the book names. Oh, I have to look this up. I have no idea what this is called. It'll flash up on screen. But the next series after that one, when that one was first coming out, it hadn't come out yet, but it was we were close to it. That's when I joined the fandom. I don't know if that is 2016. I know it was 2016 was the year. This is when I got into all this stuff. This is when I got into Warrior Cats. This is when I first heard about Undertale. There was some other stuff going on. 2016, 2017, 2018 was the years. I don't know why, they just were. Another thing that I remember wishing I had more of an opinion on, but I couldn't at the time because I didn't make videos, was Dovewing's eye color. I have no idea now why everybody obsessed over that so much. There were so many YouTube videos about this cat's eye color when it was just an error in writing, and we really shouldn't have been it wasn't that deep. It really wasn't. I personally draw her with green eyes. That just fits the design I have for her in my head. It just makes it look pretty. I don't know. I don't care. Anybody can draw her with any color eyes. You can draw her with rainbow colored eyes, and I would think it's the coolest thing ever. Warriors just as a whole was very different. I'm trying to remember some other stuff that was going on then that I cannot remember. Ivy Pool versus Dovewing, that whole debate. I was an Ivy Pool girly for a long time. I now really don't care because I haven't read that far. I will, huge disclaimer here, I have not read past, like, the second book in Omen of the Stars. I have not read past that. Any opinions I may have about books beyond that point, null and void, they don't exist because I'm not allowed to have opinions on those. I haven't read those books. It's great like that. I really need to get back into reading Warriors. I currently have the books. I forget which series. I know I have the full series of Omen of the Stars now. I think I have the one after that, but that's about it, because a friend gave me all her books that she has. I've also got a few super editions that I've got to read. I haven't read any of the super editions either. Any opinions I have on that? Null and void. No, they don't exist. I am just not allowed to have opinions on anything relevant. It's all old stuff. Which is fine. I actually really enjoy the older Warrior Cat series. I love hearing about the new stuff. I like seeing about the new stuff. I love seeing designs. I see a lot of Warrior Cat designs on my Twitter feed that I think are really pretty. But I don't know anything about them, so I can't really comment or say anything. I just be like, look at that pretty cat. Wow. And that's about it. That's as much as I can say about newer Warrior Cat series. But I liked the older series. I didn't mind my obsession with Jayfeather. It was just a part of my history. It was a part of the history of the fandom at that time. I don't understand why it was. I cannot for the life of me tell you why I liked Jayfeather so much, but it was just there, and I love that. I love all the weird things that we all just got caught up on during that time period, and looking back on it and being like, wow, we were such children. And it's great like that. I love having things like that because I can look back on it and I can judge myself, one, and then also just look back at it and be like, oh yeah, I remember that time period. This is when this and this and this happened, and it helps me remember things better, I think. It's good to be involved in that kind of stuff, unless it's bad. Unless you have a bad experience with it. Then it's not any fun. But overall, I have had a very good experience with Warrior Cats community, which I think I'm lucky to have because of all the stuff I've seen where people don't have a good experience with the Warrior Cats community. The only rough point I've had with the Warrior Cats community is seeing a bunch of like animators that I really loved being absolutely horrible people. Like a couple months ago, there was just a time where it was one after another, and I was like, oh my god, make it end. I'm not gonna be able to watch anybody animate anymore. So yeah, just crazy. And I love Warrior Cats as a fandom. I think it's really cool. I just wish some people were nicer, but that's about it. So yeah, my Jayfeather obsession, along with a bunch of other stuff about the fandom that I just randomly threw in here, because I do these unscripted, so I don't know what I'm saying. You don't know what I'm saying. We're all just in this together. Alright, well, I'm gonna end it here. You guys stay safe, drink some water, remember to breathe, listen to some fun music in the background as this ends, and I will see you in the next video.